We can see here the Nigerian government forces approaching. The protesters are gathered on the other side of the gate. As Nigerian forces get closer, you can see shots. At 6:43 p.m., we start hearing gunfire. We know this from the timestamp and data on this video. Here's another angle.
They are releasing fire. They are releasing fire.
Nigerian authorities say they fired blanks into the air and not at protesters. But CNN obtained video that appears to show the army shooting toward the crowd. Here, and at the top of your screen, here. In the midst of the chaotic scenes is DJ Switch, a Nigerian celebrity and activist. She is broadcasting live on Instagram.
I wanted people to see what was happening. I didn't want anybody to come and twist the story.
Witnesses tell CNN ambulances were stopped from entering by Nigerian authorities. You can see here people at the scene trying to conduct CPR.
Please explain to me how, in which part of the world do you go to a protest with live bullets?
Everybody, look at this. These are the bullets that were falling. They were falling by our side. That were dodging bullets.
CNN has verified that these bullet casings are from live ammunition. They are of mixed origin. Some are Serbian. This one from 2005. Nigerian military sources verified to us that these are munitions that are currently in use by Nigeria's army. And in collaboration with the Balkan Investigative Reporting Network, we were also able to procure Serbian export documents, proving that Nigeria purchased weaponry from Serbia for almost every year between 2005 and 2016. The shooting continued past midnight. Eyewitnesses tell us it wasn't just the army. At this point, they say police arrive and open fire.
My hand is broken, my leg is broken, and police are still shooting at us. And if I don't make it through the night, let it be known that I died fighting for our freedom.
So why were live rounds used at a peaceful protest? Many family members of those still missing are asking that question as they hunt for answers or the bodies of their loved ones. Elisha's brother Victor was at the protest that night.
Someone picked my brother's phone and called me and said that my brother Victor Sunday is among of those people that were shot at Lekki Tollgate. And I entered into the hospital and searched. I did not see him. And we are trying our best to just find him, but there's no way to find him.
What we're about to show you is incredibly graphic, but it's also incredibly important. This is Elisha's brother Victor. The data in this footage shows it was filmed at 1:04 a.m. at Lekki Tollgate. Elisha says he received a call about his brother's death around this time. This places Victor exactly at the location of the protest on the night witnesses say they were shot at. This is important because Nigerian authorities deny anyone was killed at the scene. Since this incident, CNN has contacted over 100 protesters and family members.
They pointed their guns at us and they started shooting.
We asked what they heard.
When we had gunshots from behind the toll.
And felt.
This is where I was shot and the bullet went through my back.
Many are in hiding. Some have fled the country. CNN tried to share these findings with the Nigerian army but received no response. Lagos state authorities would not comment on our reporting until they said a judicial panel of inquiry presents its findings. The wait for answers here continues.
Well, the Judicial Panel of Inquiry has presented their findings, and they found that there was indeed a massacre, that the army was complicit, so were men of the Nigerian police force. The Lagos state government, of course, rejected the findings of the panel that it set up. Now, you have had several people come out, even till date, to ask, well, where are the bodies of these so-called victims of this massacre? Where are the bodies? Where are their family members? Very recently, MC Oluomo was asking the same question at a rally that he organized right here in Lagos for Bola Tinubu. The BBC did a documentary last year, October 10 to be precise, 2021, and they did their best to speak to not only the members of the families of the people who were killed at Lekki Tollgate, but they also went on to address that question that people often ask: where are the bodies? I'll play that documentary for you. You can also watch it on our live stream. Our live stream is Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. If you cannot stream this content, you can definitely listen via radio. This is the moment the Nigerian army opened fire on young protesters. The shooting was captured on mobile phones and even live streamed on Instagram. So why, a year on, do Nigerian authorities deny it ever happened?
Massacre without blood or bodies. By your own narration, nobody died.
Yes, my lord.
But we've been investigating and speaking to grieving families who are still looking for answers. Despite everything that's out there, some people still think that this shooting at the toll gate was fake.
They are liars because it happened to me.
I lost my best friend because of SARS.
To understand why the Lekki Tollgate shooting happened, you need to know why Nigerians were protesting in the first place. The Special Anti-Robbery Squad, known as SARS for short, was a police unit set up in 1992 to counter a wave of armed robberies by criminal gangs across Lagos and southern Nigeria. But over the years, SARS developed a reputation for brutality. Then, in October 2020, this video goes viral. It allegedly shows SARS officers shooting a man and then stealing his car. Authorities deny SARS are responsible, but after years of fear and frustration, the hashtag #EndSARS starts trending on Twitter. And within days, the biggest protest in a generation begin. Olalekan Abidin, also known as Biggie, is a regular at the tollgate protest in Lekki. His family don't feel comfortable showing their faces on camera, but they want to let us know what Biggie was like.
He wasn't someone who would keep a grudge because he was jovial. In our area, he was popular because he was sociable and outgoing. If I ever needed anything, he would support me. There is so much I miss about him.
Despite the government and all continue, the government says hoodlums are hijacking the movement. On the 20th of October, to get the situation under control, the governor of Nigeria's most populous city, Lagos, announced a 24-hour curfew. It starts at 4 p.m. Big Sunday is one of them.
He's a comedian, so he liked to act comedy and sing song. That my brother was important, very, very important for me. He's my right hand.
Victor arrives at the toll gate in the afternoon. It's his first time attending a protest. Also in the crowd was Nathaniel's brother, Abuta.
He's a very nice boy. Have respect on me. Anything that I told my brother to do, he would do. He's the one who took my children go to school. Coming back.
Nathaniel got a call that Abuta had been shot and he rushed to the scene.
I see a crowd of people gather for where is my brother on the ground. When I saw him, I fainted. They shoot him at ribs, by the rib side.
This video shows Abuta on the ground. It's his aunt's voice you can hear in the background. She's the one filming. Days after the shooting, Nathaniel took his brother back to the village to bury him. So why then, almost a year on, do some people still refer to the shooting as fake news? The first to cast doubt on the events of that night is the army. A week after their first denial, the army admits soldiers were at the Lekki Tollgate, but says they didn't open fire on any civilians. Then the army changes its story again for the third time, saying, well, actually, let's hear them in their own words.
They were pelted And their response was to fire blank ammunition into the air. They were the peaceful protesters, no doubt, but they were also the hoodlums who sought to take advantage.
So at Lekki Tollgate, the troops under Colonel Bello were armed with blanks and live bullets.
Yes, my lord.
After admitting that soldiers were armed with live ammunition, the army has not yet responded to further requests to give evidence. But what about the other authorities there on the night? In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, the governor visits what he describes as shooting victims at nearby hospitals. He calls the incident the toughest night of our lives. A doctor at one of the hospitals later speaks of overwhelming scenes as dozens of people with gunshot wounds flood into his emergency room.
This is a case of a mass casualty. Priority is to save life.
Elisha was searching hospitals hoping to find his brother Victor.
I was checked, even searched at a general hospital at Lagos there, and one hospital like that, many places that I searched, but I could not find him. Up till now, I can't find him. I would like to see my brother's dead body, because he's my brother and I'm supposed to bury him.
Amnesty International estimates at least 12 people were killed across 2 protest sites on the night of the 20th of October. But many people are too scared to speak. And we've seen the threats some of them have received, messages telling them to stay quiet. But each video taken that night is a piece of proof. Because when you film something on your phone, it's imprinted with information called metadata.
It is only God that has everything to tell you.
This video of Victor Sunday shows the exact time and location it was taken. Using metadata, we've been able to verify videos from the Lekki Tollgate that night. This is what it would have looked like during the day, but this is what it looked like that night.
Everywhere full, scattered, and blood flew everywhere. Or even though the traffic light and the camera was break, they just shut everything down.
But Nigeria's Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, disagreed.
Available evidence so far points to the worst first case of massacre without blood or bodies.
So there are still some people to this day that maintain that nobody died at Lekki Tollgate on the 20th of October. What would you say to them?
People died. People died. I saw it. My relative was killed at Lekki Tollgate. That's where they killed him.
Did the actions of protesters like Victor, Biggie and Abuta actually change anything in Nigeria? In the last year, nationwide panels have been set up to investigate police brutality, and some families have been given compensation for the damage done by SARS. But no one has been held accountable for the Lekki Tollgate shootings.
Lagos, that documentary you just listened to was put together by the BBC. Now today, Lagosians flocked to Lekki to go and mourn the Lekki massacre victims. We'll talk about that and the things that happened today after this break.
More talk, news and sports after this.
ShopRite Circle Mall finally reopens tomorrow. A brand new store with some fantastic opening deals. Don't miss the opening October 21st, 9 a.m. prompt.
If you get business, now rent money business loan shop also. You don't go pay any money for the first 4 weeks. And once you clear the balance, your next loan will reach 99% more money with interest rate way better pass. Just enter internet, type rentmoney.com or call 0700 5500. Need money? Rent money.
The number 1 talk station of Lagos is closer to you than ever.
Join the conversation online or on the go.
Be part of the Info family on our user-friendly mobile app and website for a better and improved listening experience.
Download the app from Google Play Store and App Store.
With super efficient and clean audio quality.
Log on to nigeriainfo.fm.
Watch us live political advert. It's a message to stimulate the innovative and productive transformation of Nigeria's greatest asset, the people, to create a future of shared prosperity. 2023 and beyond, how do we deliver macroeconomic stability and invest in our future? Be one of the key global stakeholders answering these pertinent questions at the 28th Nigerian Economic Summit on the 14th and 15th of November 2022 at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja. Theme 2023 and beyond, priorities for shared prosperity. Register to attend virtually or in person at www.nesgroup.org/28.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Why did police tear gas mourners at the Lekki Tollgate? Like I said before the break, Lagosians flocked to the toll gate to mourn the massacre victims. If you are watching our live stream still, I'm going to play you videos of scenes from the toll gate earlier today. In spite of the heavy police presence, hundreds of Nigerians came out to pay respect to the dead who were shot while unarmed, singing the national anthem and waving their flag. The mourners today were not violent, just like the dead people from 2 years ago. They came peacefully. They sang songs. They carried coffins to symbolize the killings. They spoke about their pain. If you're watching live on Facebook, you can see the footage for yourself. They were unarmed, except, of course, you see that mock coffins are arms. But just like 2 years ago, the security agencies decided to use strong hand on them. Let me play you this video of a young man who survived 2 years ago and came back there to talk about his experience. He was then arrested by the police, questioned by the police, and eventually let go.
This place, this Tollgate, we lost so many young men. I was among those that should have been killed here that very day.
Can you run your name for us again?
My name is Jacob Desmond.
Why are you here?
I get so emotional because I should have been among those that should have died that day.
Come on.
This man has just been picked up by the policeman, all because he's standing, showing some emotions here today. This is his fight. This is his fight. He's just been picked up.
So he got to that toll gate. He stood there. He talked about how he is lucky to still be alive. He knew so many young men who died that day. And he started to cry. He got on his knees and the police came and picked him up. They questioned him and then they let him go. Lots of Nigerians are asking, well, why? What was his crime? Why was he questioned? But it got worse. At some point, the police began tear gassing the protesters. Again, you can see the footage for yourself on our live stream. Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. They tear gassed them first and then they brought out water cannons. Remember, the police did all of this 2 years ago at various NSAS protests all over the country. It happened again today. And again, the question is, was this necessary? What I mean is, wouldn't the mourners have dispersed themselves after they were done? And was this good optics for the police to be the ones tear gassing people who came to mourn people who were shot for protesting police brutality? What do you think about how the police handled the mourners at the toll gate today? 0700-993-993. Men, call me on that number. Women, call me on 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 99.3, hello. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can. What's your name, sir?
Hello, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name, sir?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Good
Sandra.
afternoon. How are you?
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? What's your
This
name?
is Philip calling from Ajegunle.
Philip from Ajegunle. Welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, about this protest matter. It's only God that will help us in this country. I'm telling you, Sandra. It's only God that will help us. This was exactly what we did yesterday when they shot throwing teargas on disabled people. We never complete. We never thought that one finished. They are still doing another one. Which kind of people be this one safe? What do they want to turn this country from Christ's sake? This is just the sign that this government, we Nigerians should try to do the right thing.
All right. Oh, sorry about that. Well, thank you very much for calling. We've got Rita on the line. Hi, Rita.
Yeah. Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rita.
Sandra, in fact, I'm in shock. I don't understand. This police of 18, Sandra, we're not supposed to speak bad of them. But isn't that anytime they are doing this thing, they believe the government are in support of us? Even if they come out and say we are not in support of these people. What will we, the masses, do that this country will be satisfied with us? That they won't go after the masses, Sandra, for God's sake. Sandra, I'm tired of this country. Thank you.
All right, Richard, thank you very much for calling. Please don't be tired of this country. It's the only country we have. You know, we have to keep fighting for its soul. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm fine. Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon. How are you?
What happened at the Lekki Tollgate this morning was very devastating because I was listening to your station throughout the whole incident.
Right.
Although I could have gone because I was there when the stuff happened 2 years ago.
Right.
So, but for me to still hear that the same thing that make us go into the street to protest, she come back to happen again today,
right,
my dear, is very disheartening. So, I don't know what our government wants us to do because we try all means, maybe in a peaceful way to try and protest and show our grievances. It's like they don't care. So I don't really know what they want from us as a citizens. So, my dear, I'm tired of Nigeria as a country.
All right, thanks for calling. Well, if you pay attention to supporters of the government, they will tell you, don't protest, go and vote. So perhaps that's what you should do, go and vote. Thankfully, elections are just a few months away. February, right? Go and vote. March, go and vote. We've got Meg on the line. Hi, Meg.
Hi, Sandra. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Welcome back from your vacation.
Thank you.
I'm watching you on the screen and I can see that you're not your vibrant self. It's quite sad what's going on. I'm watching the footage on the screen and I'm wondering when the government will learn and be sensitive to the pains of its people. I don't know. What did they do? They were just walking past. Why all these optics of policemen dragging people here and there? Tomorrow they will deny. But again, thank God for social media. Thank God for what is happening around. You can capture everything real time. But it's quite sad. Very, very sad. I would have expected by now they would have learned their lessons and maybe the bad situation they have created from themselves. Tomorrow the government is going to exonerate himself from this again. It's not possible. It's not possible. We have a right to protest. We have a right to say we don't like what is going on. We have a right to say people actually died at the toll gate. Nobody should bury it. The thing about the truth is no matter how many years it takes, the truth will come to pass. And the thing about the conscience is that even if they do all of this on camera, when they go back home and they are faced with their God, they know what they have done. They know what they have done. They know the people that died that they are denying didn't die, and they will answer to him. That's all I have to say. Well, it's quite sad what's going on.
Meg, thank you very much for calling. We've got Charles in Aja. Hi, Charles. Charles, hi. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Charles.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Charles, welcome.
Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you, Charles. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yeah. It's the respect of this to get something. You see, government, I don't know where we're heading. Now, federal government always remember the Army Remembrance Day, the dead people that gave their life for this nation. And the other people remember their beloved ones that died, they celebrate them. Then, what these people are doing today is just to remember the people that died because of this nation, because of the brutality of the police. And now they repeat what happened today. It's horrible. Did they commit any crime? Why is it that on them? Or water cake? It's unfair. It's unfair.
Charles, thank you for calling. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Victor.
Welcome, Rachel.
Firstly, this morning I watched the footage, whatever I don't know. I'm not happy. This country, I don't really understand. As if the youth, we don't have a say in this country. The same thing that happened 2 years ago is about to repeat itself again. And it shouldn't be, Sandra. Honestly, I just want all the youth to be able to come out because our PVC is our voice. We need to stand. We need to take back our country back. Because I'm even tired. I want to jackpot, but I don't know. If I have to jackpot, other countries are not my country wherever I go to. This is my home. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling, and good afternoon to you. You know, so this is not the only things that happened at the toll gate. Do you know that some people were arrested today? Oh, yeah. Police arrested quite a number of people who went out to protest today. Let me play you that footage as well.
I don't get any incriminating thing, but I don't know what my own like this. So, this is how I offend anybody. Only my phone in my hand. I don't know what I do when make me any condition. God, where did it happen? Don't be this kind of nation with us.
We can't continue like this. We can't continue like this. We cannot continue like this. How will harmless citizens come outside and we cannot continue. They search us, no weapon. They search us. They don't send any weapon in our hand. And still yet they beat us. No weapon, nothing. They beat me up. No weapon, they search us. They search everything in our body. They beat me up and they don't send any weapon in our body. But still yet. This is precious. We can't continue like this. We can't continue like this. They beat me, they do to stab my eyes. What have I done? God gave first when gave power, but God gave. What have I done? I'm not a robber. I'm not thief. I don't utilize anybody. I never took anything from anybody. So what have I done?
I don't get any incriminating thing, but I don't use them. Only my phone.
My nose is bleeding. My nose is bleeding. What have I done?
Those are young men who were speaking to the press from inside a black Maria vehicle. We're going to try and show you that footage as well on our live stream. You're listening to Nigeria Info 99.3. We're talking to you about the events today at the Lekki Tollgate. So for our first story, I took you back to the Lekki massacre 2 years ago. I told you how it went down. I introduced you to some of the family members of the victims. I showed you text messages that some of the other family members were receiving, threatening them to not come forward, threatening them to not ask about where the bodies of their family, their relatives were, threatening them to not speak up. I showed it to you in our first story. And I took you to the Lekki Tollgate today for our second story. For our third story, let's look at tomorrow. Let's talk about police brutality. It's a real problem. Let's talk about whether or not the police, the government, have done the work to fight police brutality since the NSAS protests ended. And by the sound of that video that you just listened to of young men inside the Black Maria for coming out to protest, it's not difficult to guess what your answer will be. Because if you ask the police how far police brutality, they will say, oh, we've stopped police brutality. We've gotten better at investigating complaints. We've gotten better at trying accused officers. You know, we're building up a great track record of punishing convicted officers. And they point to the fact that, well, SARS has been disbanded. We've replaced SARS with SWAT. Perhaps today was an anomaly. Perhaps the tear gas and the water cannon and the arrested people today was an anomaly. Perhaps you've seen a change in the streets. Perhaps you've seen policing improve in the last 2 years. Perhaps there has been less police brutality. Or has there been more? Here in Lagos, you remember that the government set up a panel to investigate police brutality and the Lekki massacre. The panel found that there was a massacre at the toll gate. The panel said the army was responsible. The panel made recommendations. They recommended an apology from government. They recommended that the perpetrators be prosecuted. They recommended that the toll gate be renamed NSAS toll gate. And these recommendations have not yet been obeyed. The panel also found that the protesters at the toll gate were not responsible for the violence in Lagos. Because you often hear members of the state government say property was damaged during NSAS or NSAS destroyed this property. But the panel set up by the state government said that the NSAS protesters were peaceful. The panel differentiated between the protesters who were peaceful and the thugs who actually attacked protesters and then started destroying property. So I always find it interesting when government officials ignore these findings and talk about the property damage like it was the protesters that did it. You have to ask if it was fair, if it is fair to the memories of those who were murdered. Well, I guess you have to agree that people were murdered first before you can honor their memories. So let's also talk about Lekki denial. Has the government at all levels done its part to stop this fake news that nobody died? We're always being cautioned in the media not to spread fake news. But arguably, the biggest fake news of the last 2 years is that nobody died at the toll gate. People died. We know their names. And yet, we still have people in government or supporting government saying it was a lie. How do we tackle that fake news? And here's my wider question. 2 years after the unspeakable massacre at the Lekki Tollgate, how have government and the police handled both the Lekki massacre and the call for an end to police brutality? Women call us on 01465-7190. Men call us on 0700-993-993. WhatsApp messages are available as well. I'm going to come to WhatsApp in a bit. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Femi Omotayo is on the line. Hi, Femi. Good to have you on the show.
Hi, Sandra. Good morning from here. I think it's afternoon in Nigeria here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've been following your news, and I would like to say thank you to you first for being unbiased on this story, because the government has attempted to coin a lot of people, even the market women, the thugs and the touts, which are their so-called youths. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I think Nigeria, we're in a big problem, we're in a fix. And to only take, I don't like saying God. It should only take us being courageous, and we have to just keep fighting for this. I don't even know what to say right now. It's so disheartening. I cannot even say it is police brutality. I would like to call it a government brutality, because who gives instructions? It's the same government that gives instructions to the police to do what they are doing right now. So we're in a big problem. My children are over here in America, and they are even scared to come to Nigeria. Anytime they see a video of Nigeria, they said they would like to visit in the first instance, but anytime they see a video, they tell us they don't want to come to Nigeria. We're in a big problem. It's only God and our courage that's going to save us from this situation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Femi, for calling us. We appreciate it. All right, let's take a few more thoughts. 99.3, hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What's your name, ma'am? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
How are you? What's your name, ma'am? Oh, that's unfortunate. Her network isn't very good. 99.3, hello.
Hi, Sandra.
How are you? What's your name, ma'am?
It's Chinoye.
Chinoye, welcome. Chinoye, a long time no here.
I did. How you doing now, Mama?
I did.
But before I proceed, I would like my just make them know say I don't shoot. Yeah, now. Sandra, I know they laugh. I know they laugh, Mama.
Okay.
Sandra, they speak English. They say perhaps. Man, I won't use that your perhaps now. Tell me that I won't tell you. Perhaps these people never know what people get for mine, Mama.
What do you get?
Perhaps they don't know say, next year election. They never know say we go vote the right person. Perhaps they don't know say we get our voter stars, Mama. Perhaps they don't know say we will vote, Mama. Sandra. See that start matter. I don't want to talk about it. Talk and Mama. My mind is swear, Mama. Mama. No, Alan. What is you? God bless you, Mama.
Bless you as well, Noya. Thank you very much for calling. Remy is in Akoka. Hi, Remy.
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Let's even assume the Lekki massacre never happened. A few days ago, General Emeka came out and said something. The response he gave that day was because of the oath. So that alone should tell those who never believed the massacre happened that something happened that night. So you get Sandra. So
hello, Remy, you saw someone today?
Yeah, a journalist online. I won't mention a female.
Okay.
Verified Andrew saying, giving the false figures of people who died at Lekki. You know, it's so sinful, and it's a trademark of this administration. In 2016, you know what happened to the child when hundreds of people were killed in a day?
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Something happened 2 years ago at Lekki Tollgate. So they will keep pushing the narrative, gaslighting people to believe it never happened. It happened, and we continue to remember this day. Thank you.
Remy, thank you very much for calling. Tosin is in Ogba. Hi, Tosin.
Hi, Sandra.
How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm good. Well, I don't have anything much to say. But I could recall 2020 October, I wept as a senior citizen. As a senior citizen, I wept for my children that were massacred. Can a leopard change his skin? Hello?
No, it cannot.
It cannot. So why are you expecting much from this government? Excuse me. I need to know why people are expecting much from this government. That you created a fellow human being like you in 1983-84 thereabouts, and you were being asked in Chatham House on one of your visits there before the 2015 election, and you apologized that you will not repeat it again. And you went ahead to Kenya, and you blindfolded, kidnapped, abducted Nnamdi Kanu on the streets of Kenya, blindfolded him. That's why I put that question to you. Can a leopard change his skin? Hello?
I'm here, Tosin. I'm listening.
They have not learned their lessons. And Nigerians, please, I'm asking you to do what is needful in 2023. We cannot continue this way. I need my country to work for me and my children. Good evening, Sandra.
Good evening, Tosin. Thank you so much for calling us. We've got a message from Sahid. Sahid is in Festac, and he says, we really don't have great police in Nigeria. The biggest problem of police here is their bosses at the top. They're the ones that give orders to attack the protesters today. Sandra, for me, may the souls of those who lost their lives on that deadly day rest in perfect peace. Nigerians, please vote wisely in 2023. We've got someone from North America who says, it's shameful how shameless all of this is. All right. Thank you very much for your message. We've got a message here from Emmanuel. Emmanuel says, Emmanuel, thank you very much. That's a very kind thing to say. This message says, my daughter left Nigeria January 2020. Anytime she's not acting right, I use Nigeria to threaten her that I'll have her return. It's sad and funny at the same time. She begs that she never wants to return to Nigeria. I watched it live. We cannot continue to pretend that this did not happen. All right. Thank you very much. We've got a message here from Benjamin in Ikoyi. Benjamin, I'm going to come back and read that message when we come back from this break. I don't even think we have time to continue talking about this when we come back from the break. The break will take us right to the 4 o'clock hour. So I'll end by saying that may the souls of those who died on that day rest in peace.
Star 997. To keep your money, you don't need to worry. Them no go fit to scam you, and you don't need the bank account. Any transaction you go fit to perform. You don't even need smartphone, and you don't need the data.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running late to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those. Those that need to be fired are fired.
It's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not.